I'm about to take the R7 out right now to the gym. Thought I might as well film a quick little YouTube video while I'm on the way there. Talk about something pretty important for R7 owners, but you can pretty much apply it to all bikes, the same logic. But I'm going to be talking about whether or not you should tune the R7, whether or not it's worth it, how much it costs, how easy the process is to do. Because I tuned my bike about 2 months back and I've ridden on it now for a little while, so I can give a good, honest opinion. Alright, now this thing's decently warmed up, so let's head out. I did ride like 45 minutes ago too, so still should be some heat in the tires, hopefully. So is it worth tuning your Yamaha R7? So any R7 that you pick up from the factory, it comes with the worst sounding exhaust. Like, restrictive wise, you're gonna have no emotion exhaust wise out of this bike with the OEM system. Which, I mean, it's expected, but just to know, it's extremely bad, so you have to swap this thing out if you want any sound. And the thing is about the R7s is you can't do a slip-on this exhaust. It has to be a full system. So you just gotta take that into account. Because usually with slip-ons you can get away with spending a few $100s for a good quality system. But if you have to buy a full exhaust system, it's of course gonna cost a bit more. So keep that in mind. And basically the only 3 exhausts that people run on these bikes is a Yoshimura system, Akrapovic, and a SC Project. And the SC Project is the most expensive of the 3 and probably the loudest. The SC Project runs like $1,400. That's what you're primarily going to see a lot of people use on this bike. And you also see the Yoshimura R77. So since I've seen a lot of those, I kind of wanted to try and switch it up if I could. So I still did get a Yoshimura system for my R7, but I got the Yoshimura AT2 in full stainless steel. Because I never really saw a lot of people running that system. And if I'm correct, that's the exhaust system that they developed for their R7 track bike project that they're working on. And when I bought that system, it cost $819, if I'm correct. So not too bad for a full exhaust system. But my point of telling you guys about that is because if you're gonna tune it, you gotta throw an exhaust system on there first. It desperately needs it. And when you do an exhaust system, you're gonna come across the question, now, do you need to tune it or do you not have to? Will the ECU just adjust itself? So when you do a full exhaust system, not a slip-on, you do need to tune the bike. There's a big difference because when you're doing a full system, you're changing the entire exhaust airflow, how much it takes in, how it's going to read in the air-fuel ratio, everything. When it's a slip-on, it's just a little muffler like this, so it's not going to make that big of a change. Nice color on C8. But so it's why I'd say you definitely have to tune this bike if you're going to do an exhaust system. And for me, I went on the R7 forums to figure out who the best tuner was. Everybody on the Facebook forums recommended Two Wheel Dynoworks for this bike. Said they're really good with the CP2 motor. Trusted people, so I trusted them as they've all been running it, so it's a good source to go off of. And so it costed $300 for an ECU flash from them. And how it worked for them is I took out my ECU, which took me less than like 10 minutes. I shipped it to their shop up in Washington, if I'm correct. And I shipped it out on Monday, got it back on Thursday, plugged it right in, put everything back together, and again, less than 10 minutes. So it was a super easy process, and anybody can do that job. It doesn't take high skilled knowledge to work on bikes. It's just some Allen keys, some little clips, take out. Super easy process, so don't feel intimidated at all. All you do is remove the rear seat cowl, your seat, and then just another little bracket. Super simple. Nothing to be intimidated by. I still did run a full exhaust system without a tune for about a month and a half. And what happened, and on all R7s it happens, is the bike's going to run super rich. So that means that the bike is dumping way more fuel than it has to. And you'll know so because every time you let off the throttle like this, it would start burbling and popping like crazy. Like a 335 BMW owner. It just basically sounded like that. So I really knew the bike wasn't running optimally, and I had to get that done. Let me do a U-turn right here. So if you do a full system on this bike and you don't tune it, it's not the end of the world as long as it's for a pretty short period of time. Of course, don't stay like that, but if it's just like a couple 100 miles, it's not the end of the world. But of course, put it on your priority list to do, and don't keep it that way. And now, after the tune, my review on it personally, I'd say it picked up a lot of that low-end torque that this bike's supposed to be. This bike's supposed to be super torquey, and after the tune, it really livened it up. And I could immediately feel it have that extra bump in the lower RPMs and in the upper. So it was definitely extremely worth it doing the tune. First gonna switch into my lane. I don't know, they keep hitting their brakes. So I definitely felt a power difference in the bike after doing the tune. It was definitely noticeable. And it felt really strong after. Because sometimes with the tune, it may be too little a change to even notice. So I was happy I was able to recognize the difference right when I got on the bike. And something else about the tune is they also did adjust the fan temp. So when it kicks on, it used to kick on around like 220 and now it kicks on around 205, which is great because it helps the bike stay cooler. So I was really impressed with that as well. And to get a full flash and some extra added features in there, and for only 300 bucks, I have no complaints at all. I was really happy with it. So yeah, the ECU, to get it out, just while I'm showing you guys real quick, take off this seat, take off this seat, and then just some little tiny things. Under 10 minutes you guys can do it. And the ECU is just in these little two brackets. Pull it out. Super simple. All you need is like a basic understanding of just how to take off little Allen keys, and you're fine. It's just like 4 and 5 millimeters. Y'all do this too? It's like with a manual car, making sure it's in neutral. But yeah, tuning this bike, I definitely recommend it. Felt way better after. And here's the exhaust system I did. Yoshimura AT2 has a little bit of drag carbon fiber on the end, and like I said, has to be a full system. And the O2 sensor plugged in right back there. I don't know if you guys can see it. And when installing the system, you're just gonna have a little bit extra wire, so I just zip tied it and tucked it. And this exhaust system does have like a little H pipe right there too, so that's pretty sick. And just in my opinion, on this bike, all you really need to do is hold up. Plane passing over, so wait till y'all can hear me better. Okay, should be better now. Yeah, just an full exhaust and a tune. It's really all you need on this bike. Also, there is a very popular mod to do, which is the snorkel, which is right in the airbox, and they say you pick up around 4 horsepower in your power band, somewhere in the range. So, and that's a free modification. It's just on the airbox. There's just a little snorkel that comes up like that, and you can just pull it out It's pretty simple too. To be honest, I didn't do it. I was too lazy to do that one. So if any of you guys have actually done that and it's worth it, let me know, because if it is, I might as well just go take it out and get that extra horsepower that people are talking about. So if you're on the fence about tuning your bike, definitely get a flash on it, and while you're at it, of course you got to do an exhaust too, and you guys won't regret it at all. This bike feels perfect and like how it should have came from the factory.